This is John for the Everyday Fan Sports. Today I have the pleasure of being on the beat with professional hockey goalie Corinne Schroeder. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good, thank you. Thank you for your time. I know you're busy. It's in the middle of the season, so I really appreciate your time. Could you take us back to when you first started playing hockey? How did that start? How did you play with a boys team or a girls team?
Yeah, I'm gonna say I probably started playing hockey around 4 years old, and just playing, yeah, with the boys team for quite a few years until I think I joined my first girls team when I was 13, maybe something around there, 12 or 13, and um, yeah, played on both teams for quite a while as well, and um, yeah, from there mostly girls hockey after the age of about 14, and yeah,
So, what
that's
got you interested in hockey originally?
um well, I think just being from Canada, you learn to skate so young. Like I learned to skate when I was 3, and my dad played hockey as well a little bit, and uh, it's kind of just one of those things that all the all your friends do it, you do it as well. So I started playing when I was quite young and really enjoyed it, and just decided, yeah, like this is going to be my favorite.
Were you a goalie like from the very beginning, or did you switch to a goalie at some point?
Uh, yeah, I switched along the way. I actually started, well, when you're really young, you play all positions, just trying everything out. But yeah, I spent a bit of time as a defenseman and then a centerman, and around the age of I think 12, I switched over completely to goalie. Um, because I found that I had really liked it and had done really well with it, in the past couple years before that.
So when you're in the net, like at the beginning of a game, do you like to get a shot at you like real quick just to get it out of the way, or like what's your mindset?
Um, I wouldn't say that it needs to come super quickly. Obviously, I just want the first shot to be a nice, simple save if possible. It's always nicer if it's a shot that comes from, the blue line far outside, one that you can see. Obviously, it's just like to get you into the game, but yeah, it's important to just come in ready for anything though, and make sure you're set for any and all shots, regardless of what the first one looks like.
Now I know you played college hockey. How did you end up in the pros? Like, what is the procedure? Is there a draft? Do you sign as a free agent? How does that work?
Yeah, for my year, we they just did the free agency. I think in previous years they've had a draft, but just this past year they decided they were going to go with the free agency route, and I think it worked out well. Everyone just kind of discussed with coaches where they wanted to be, and negotiated their own contracts, and yeah, it was a good way of doing it, I think.
So I mean, you're from Canada. You signed with Boston. Is that because was a lot of any part of that because you played your college hockey in Boston?
Yeah, a little bit. I do really like the city, and um, it was a big pull to get me to come back here. Just wanting to be back somewhere that's familiar, and yeah, like it's always nice to play in Boston. I love the fans, and just just the city and the atmosphere as well.
Well, and in the NHL, it's one of the original six, so it's one of the leaders in hockey. Speaking of the NHL, and I asked this to all the pro players, do you think there'll ever be a woman? Could there ever be a woman to play in the NHL?
I mean, technically, there already has
True.
Manon Rome, of course, playing there with the Lightning that one time, which super exciting, as a goalie, just to see that and see that it can be done. And yeah, I think in the future it's certainly possible. But of course, as women's hockey continues to grow, I think there'll be more and more opportunities and chances for us to grow our own league and separate from the NHL.
I think that's the cool part. Like when I talked to, Cassidy Sauvé, she had said, and I asked her the same question. She said, like, she really didn't even want to play in the NHL. Now you have your own league. I think that's more equal. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. That's more equal than if you had a chance to play in the NHL. You have your own league and it's growing. I think it's fantastic.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Now, you had an interesting start in the pro league. You were credited with a goal. Was
A
that?
goal in that was last season?
Oh, is that
Yeah.
not in the pros?
Yeah, not in the pros.
Oh, I'm sorry. But
I,
how?
I I have a couple of assists this year that I didn't
Okay.
even know about. But yeah, that was last year at Quinnipiac playing against Maine. I made a save on a delayed penalty, and somehow we cleared it down the ice and uh, got lucky.
Well, I
The
read
goalie had
that like,
already skated to the bench, and it just went in. So
but that's the highest level of hockey that a woman goalie has ever scored a goal. So that's got to be
yeah,
pretty cool. Like
yeah.
when that situation comes up and you're trying to you're trying to clear the puck. Do you ever try to shoot like on an empty net? Obviously, do you ever try to shoot for that, or is you just worry about just clearing the puck out?
Um, yeah, like if the opportunity is there, I'll definitely try to take it, but it's a very rare occasion, like if that you have the opportunity to even take a shot like that when there's no other goalie in the net. Like it's a 6-on-5 type of play, and honestly, you have to be lucky. They have to dump it in so that you can go play the puck, or you know they got to take a shot to your glove so you can drop it and shoot it. So it's not an occasion that comes around often, but definitely if it comes around, I'll definitely give it a shot.
Well, maybe you'll get another one at some point.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope so.
Now your team is off to a great start. You're off to a fantastic start. You were named to the All Star team. When before the season, like, did you feel any different? Like, I mean, you've had a great career. Don't get me wrong, but this season is outstanding. Like, was there any different feel to it for you?
Um, a little bit. Yeah, it's a little different than college. You don't have the same responsibilities with the academics as well as hockey. So it was a bit of an adjustment trying to figure out um, just what exactly I needed to be doing with my time to make sure I'm in the best shape possible and making sure I'm not actually doing too much, because sometimes I feel like I try and do more and more because I think it's better, and sometimes my body just needs a bit of a rest. So yeah, trying to find that balance and trying to figure out what to do that's going to be most beneficial for me.
No, I assume like I
Yeah.
know look, I played hockey like 50 years ago, I'm old, but I know the goalie equipment is very heavy. It's probably lighter now than it was back then. But did you have to like really work out so that you could, handle that type of weight on you?
Um, I don't think it's yeah, it's definitely not as heavy anymore. um, but I think just in general the weightlifting that I do just to keep in proper shape for hockey in general is just part of that. So I don't really notice uh the difference of the weights, but at the same time I've been wearing goalie equipment for about 10 years now, so I have an idea of, what it should feel like and how I should be able to move in it. So
And how long do you plan on playing?
hard to say. It's a great question. Obviously, I'm gonna play as long as I can because this has been a dream to play professionally, and yeah, a lot of goals left I still want to achieve. So
Well,
I'll be around for a while.
I mean, that's an interesting point too. It's a dream of yours for a while. So when you're actually on the ice playing and you got the crowd there and people are cheering for you, obviously you're concentrating on the game, but there are down times, timeouts and all that. Do you ever just kind of soak it all in and go like, this is really cool. I'm playing I'm a woman. I'm playing in a professional hockey league. This is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like especially in game, yeah, you're trying to stay focused and everything, but just being in the rinks with so many people watching in the crowd, and you know, you, you always get that sense of, like they all came to watch us play. Like this is pretty cool. This is amazing, and I'm gonna give them a good show, type of things. So
And well,
yeah,
you mentioned before Manon Rion. She was one of the pioneers of women's hockey, and now
yeah.
you and the current class in the Premier Hockey Federation are like the next set of pioneers. What does that mean to you to be able to carry that torch and to bring it forward and to progress hockey for the future youth?
It's super important. Yeah, we had just this past weekend against Buffalo, our youth hockey weekend. So we had a lot of young players come and watch us, and that was just super exciting to see that they all realize that that could be them in the future. Like they have this opportunity if they want it, if they want to keep playing, and uh, yeah, it gives them something to work towards, and they realize that they have a future in hockey, and it's not just, oh, maybe I'll go to college and that's about it, type of thing.
And when you're eventually done playing hockey, when you finally hang up the skates professionally, at least, what are your plans? Do you have any plans for post hockey career?
Um, yeah, nothing definite, but I would like to go back to school for physical therapy and um, hopefully start a career in that. I've always enjoyed studying anatomy and physiology and understanding how the body works and how to get it back into shape after injuries and stuff like that. So that is the tentative plan, but we'll see where life takes me.
Well, Corinne, again, I really appreciate your time. Before I let you go, is there any place you want to tell people to follow you or your team online at all? Any social media or websites or anything?
Um, yeah, I guess. Well, my personal Instagram is C Schroeder _30, but you can follow our team as well with the Boston Pride, I believe, is their handle on Instagram and Twitter as well. So yeah,
Well,
that's about it.
again, I really appreciate your time. I'm as I told Cassie, I'm really hoping. I know there's plans in the future for expansion. I'm in Chicago, not close at all to any of the teams yet, but I'm really hoping that a team will come somewhere around here, because if they do, you will see me in the crowd, because I'm a huge supporter of women's sports. I especially love hockey. I applaud you women for doing what you're doing. I think it's fantastic that there's a pro league. You guys have options now. And I thank you very much for your time, and I wish you a lot of luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. You have a great day now. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye. Take care.